I'm Paul Perrello, and welcome again to the Philly Factor. The greater Philadelphia area is rich with many cultural and arts organizations and institutions. We could dedicate hours of programming just to one of those organizations. Today, we're going to sort of shift focus a little bit, not necessarily focus on a Philadelphia cultural or arts institution, but what we're going to do is sort of go out to the suburbs a little bit as we talk about what's going on in Montgomery County. This program, we're going to focus on a particular area that is known perhaps for its history, but is equally important for its arts and culture. Arts Montco is an initiative of the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board in an attempt to showcase Valley Forge and Montgomery County's rich artistic and cultural tradition. Joining me here to talk about this initiative is Jessica Willingham, Director of Arts and Culture for the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
I think you would agree that there's a lot going on in Montgomery County, and oftentimes, with all due respect, Philadelphia always gets all the attention, but this area, really, southeastern Pennsylvania, is so rich with arts and cultural institutions. And that's why when this idea came across my desk, I said, we should focus a little bit on what's going on out in the suburbs. We think of Valley Forge perhaps just for one reason, and that being the history, rightfully so. But then I realized that there's a lot of other stuff, great stuff that's going on out there. So let's talk a little bit about this initiative, Arts Montco. How did this all come about?
Sure. So I came on to the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board staff in February of last year to develop a brand around the arts. So we're called the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board, but as you mentioned, we market Valley Forge in Montgomery County. So we market all across the nation and around the world, and Valley Forge is a very well-known national historical site. When we are traveling abroad, people know where that is. So it's a really good point of reference for people to be drawn into Montgomery County. And we're very happy to attract people from the Philadelphia area, the region, the country, and internationally. And we have all of these sub-brands under our tourism umbrella, reasons that you'd want to visit the region. So history is a very big one. We've got some of the best shopping in the entire country. King of Prussia Mall is the largest mall by retail space in the country. And we've got over 1,600 restaurants, 75 hotels. We're the third largest county in the state of Pennsylvania, behind Philly and Allegheny, where Pittsburgh is. Montco's got 820,000 people, and we've got over 200 arts and culture attractions in the county. So when we were looking at our portfolio of brands, it really seemed like that was a missing link because we have so much to offer. We've got everything from these beautiful historic theaters, movie theaters, great museums, live music venues. It's really all available to you in Montco, and we're very lucky in the Philadelphia region that we have such a rich group of people in the arts, many of whom are performing in the same theaters that we have right in Montgomery County. And we like to promote our value proposition that it's really easy to park, often free, which is
That's
a
even
big
better.
plus.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And you can go grab a great meal right across the street from where you're going to a great gallery exhibition or taking in some live music or comedy, and then walk right across and go enjoy a show. So it's a really enjoyable experience and an easy experience out in the suburbs. And we're very accessible to Philadelphia. So we like to take the opportunity to attract people coming out of the city to visit our attractions. Some places in Montco are literally across the street.
Yeah.
So we like to definitely tout our great relationship with the city. And we've taken a regional approach to promoting the arts as well, because we know in the greater Philadelphia region, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Wow.
And in Montgomery County, it's over $100 million of economic impact from our arts attractions and organizations. So it's a great investment, we thought.
Yeah, and oftentimes we don't necessarily think of the economic impact. We will think of, hey, that's a great place to see a show, or this is a great place to eat. But then there's that ripple effect, and when you look at the revenue that's generated, it is truly remarkable. And it would seem to me that this would have been done before. And why did we wait so long for this initiative to finally get up off the ground?
Yeah, I feel really fortunate that our tourism board, and we've got a very great board of commissioners, our political officials in Montgomery County are very supportive of this initiative. And I think that we're, just uniquely fortunate in that regard, that people see the economic impact and of course, the feel-good aspect. People
Absolutely.
just enjoy the arts. And our tourism board has decided to invest in promoting the arts, and we want people to recognize that Montco is truly an arts destination. I mean, we're the home to Philadelphia Folk Festival.
That's right.
That's the longest continuously running outdoor music fest in all of North America.
Wow.
And it attracts about 35,000 people to Old Pool Farm in Schwanksville. We want people to know that's part of Arts Montco. It's part of our community. And Cirque du Soleil, they approached Montgomery County. They wanted to be in Montco. That's a really big deal. Just the clout of our county and our organizations, the arts and beyond, because there's just so much to do in Montco. We're happy to have these marquee events interested in being part of our scene.
Yeah, you mentioned Cirque du Soleil because I guess it'll be this summer. There's
Yes.
actually a production that's going to be staged at the Expo Center in Oaks, am I correct?
Right, they've identified the area that's outside of that Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks. It's going to be their tented show.
It is a tented show, okay.
So
right.
I feel like that's really the authentic Cirque du Soleil experience.
Yeah.
You're in the tent and just enjoying this gorgeous production. They're such high quality performers, and they've toured all over the world, really. To have them come to Montgomery County is a really big feather in our cap.
So who is your audience? I mean, who are you trying to reach? And in reading it, and all the information, like a city guy like myself, lived the entire existence in the city of Philadelphia, but I'm very familiar with the surrounding counties. And I'm a big proponent of everything that is going to be to the economic benefit of the great state of Pennsylvania, but our region in particular. So, I have no problem with going to see a show in Montgomery County as opposed to, going to see one of the shows in downtown Philadelphia. And I think that's what adds to the overall experience, is that, sort of come out of your cocoon every once in a while and see what's going on outside of your front door. So, the fact that they're having this tented show in Montgomery County, if you really want to experience Cirque du Soleil like it's supposed to be experienced, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go out, and out to that area and see this production. But are you trying to reach people that live in the city? Are you trying to reach people that live in Montgomery County? Are you trying to reach people that might be taking a trip to Philadelphia during the summer, and they'll take in all of those historic sites? And yeah, by the way, they might want to see Valley Forge, and oh, look what else Montgomery County has to offer.
I'd say it's all three.
I figured so.
We've really taken a multi-pronged approach. I truly believe people need to know what's going on in their own backyard.
Sure.
And certainly with over 200 attractions in the arts, those folks who are running the organizations in the arts in our own county, the people who live on our main streets and have other businesses outside of the arts in Montco, they're going to be our best advocates and ambassadors when people come in, residents or visitors, and have a great experience in one of our 62 municipalities. It's really a wonderful time when you go to a theater and someone can tell you, oh, hey, yeah, you can go around the block and there's all of these restaurants where you can grab a bite to eat. Or when you ask where can you get a drink after the show and someone's knowledgeable about that. When you go to a restaurant on one of our main streets and you say, hey, I'm catching a show, I'm in a rush, and they know what the theater is and are happy to get you in and out. That's a really great experience if you live in town, and it's a really great experience if you're visiting, and we think that will get people to come back. And we certainly want people from the region, from Philadelphia, to come out. We're really very close by, and it's a great experience. I think, as I mentioned, free parking. It's really nice to just come out and,
Sure.
and relax. And then certainly as a destination marketing organization, we want people to come and stay in our hotels. And we really believe we've got more than enough for people to do and find a reason to stay. Right now we have a winter hotel package that's running, and we've been able to add some great arts attractions into that package. So we've got theaters in Ambler, the Act II Playhouse, the Keswick Theater in Glenside, Valley Forge Casino Resort. They're all offering shows as part of the package. The Steel River Playhouse, which is out in the western part of the county in Pottstown. We like to tout that you can do something from the western side all the way to the eastern side and everywhere in between. We've got hotels all across the county. And then we've got other great restaurants that are a part of the package. Founding Farmers, which is one of the hottest restaurants in the country. It's been the top booked restaurant on Open Table for 5 years running, their DC location. And they decided to make it Montco and come to King of Prussia, to the town center. They also have awesome art in their restaurant, which I love. They've got curated pieces that kind of nod towards the history in Valley Forge National Historical Park. They've got these whimsical bunnies that one of their staff members painted in their private dining room. So they're a part of the package, which I think only enhances the other artistic offerings. And we want to attract those out-of-town guests and say, hey, no matter where you're staying across the county, there's great shopping, great dining, and of course, great art.
Let's talk about where people can find information, because we're talking about a whole variety of events, and we have a limited time here, and chances are that some of the events we're talking about now, there are going to be more and more events that are coming in the subsequent months down the road. So where could they go and find out the very latest information about all the events that are coming up in Montgomery County?
Well, we've got our website, artsmontco.com, and that's got all of the attractions that are a part of our organization in Montgomery County, as well as a calendar of events. So you can look a little bit ahead and see what's available that day in the coming weeks. And then we're also on social media at Arts Montco on Facebook and Twitter. We try to share upcoming events and kind of hidden gems throughout the county that people might want to be privy to. Some cool people who come from Montco who are doing interesting work and tout that we're a cool place where cool people come from and cool people should want to visit.
Absolutely. How do people, you mentioned how people can find out about the events that are going on, but given the vastness of Montgomery County, and you said it's the third largest county in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, how can a business, how can maybe a small theater group, how maybe a restaurant, a hotel, become a partner in this? Because it's great to get the information out that this is what we have to offer, but there might be a business out there that says, hey, this sounds like something that would be perfect for us to get involved in. So are you still looking for other partners in this venture to promote the arts in Montgomery County?
Absolutely, and we are a membership-based organization, so we've got over 540 members.
Okay.
And we've got...
There might be that 541st out there,
We'd love to find them. We have a really accessible staff, and we've got venues, hotels, obviously, and tourism, but then a lot of restaurants and certainly the arts attractions. And I think what's great about membership with our organization is we are getting the word out, and people come to our website as a resource. We're tourism, we know where to go and what to do, but a big part of that is our members and our partners letting us know what they have going on, letting us know when a new venue opens up. I say there are 200 arts attractions across Montgomery County, but I feel like we're only scratching the surface. And we're fortunate that so many new cool venues come into the county and want to be there, and we're always happy to meet new members and be able to promote new attractions for people to visit.
Yeah, I would suspect that it's got to be perhaps a little easier to promote an event like Cirque du Soleil coming to Montgomery County as opposed to the local theater group that is staging their production of Grease. I mean, only because you're looking at a big production that's going to attract a lot of people, as opposed to a smaller theater group that's looking just to get people in the theater just to make ends meet, in order to keep that theater group going, season after season after season. So I guess where I'm going with this is, we don't want to leave anybody out. I mean, there's always room at the table for one more, as we said. But I guess it's great that the folks at Arts Montco are being proactive in this venue, but it's also incumbent upon some of these other groups that are out in the county to get involved, if in fact they can get involved in an initiative, because then it's a win-win situation all around.
We definitely want to be a welcoming community, and I think the great thing about the big marquee events is it really helps to put us on the map, but I think a rising tide lifts all boats, and it lets people know that it is a really cool county. There's a lot of art and culture that's available to people, and hey, if you come for a big show, maybe you want to take your kids back to community theaters that have programming that's great for children. Maybe you're interested in history and you're looking at our website and you're finding an art museum, and then right next to that on the site you find a historic site that you're interested in visiting. We definitely want people to be open to discovery. I think when you come to our website, you can always find what you're looking for, but we hope you find a little bit more than that as well. And we do try to be appealing to people across the board. So whether you're an art aficionado and you know exactly what you want to look for, there's an artist who's on tour and they've shown in Europe and you know you always want to look at that particular person's artwork, great, you'll find that. But maybe you're a novice and you just enjoy art and want to check something out that's accessible to you, that's available too. And I think that's the really nice thing about Montgomery County is you can enjoy children's productions that are really high caliber and great for the family, and you can enjoy people's work who, you know, have won Barrymore Awards and are performing at our theaters right in Montco as well.
Yeah, and again, it's artsmontco.com, where you can get all the information, and not just what's going on this week or this month, but pretty much everything that's going on in Montgomery County. It's an important website, and you know, while it still may be winter on the calendar while we're sitting here talking, you know, soon it'll be spring and it'll be summer, and a lot of people will be making those vacation plans. And whether you're looking for a day trip or you're looking, you know, family maybe coming in from out of the area, you might want to consider taking a trip or booking a venue to go out and see one of the museum exhibitions. It's so great that we have all of this stuff literally at our fingertips. And so this is, we're about a year into this initiative now, right? So what's the overall expectation as you move forward here?
Well, we'd like to just continue to grow. Certainly, the initial step has been building awareness that, in fact, we are a real destination for the arts, putting Montco on the map as it should be. But once we've got people coming and interested in our attractions, we definitely want weekend packages around the arts, people to book their stay based on all there is to do, and maybe arts are the hook for them. And then certainly, we've got all of these other brands that I mentioned. I think it's about tying together someone who's interested in taking a trip for history, can enjoy some of our other museums that have historical ties, like the John James Audubon Center. That was the first American home of John James Audubon. They're opening a museum that's much more enhanced in the spring. It's just a really cool space. If you like hiking and kayaking, it's available right there. If you like history, it's available right there. And if you like art, certainly the Birds of America, John James Audubon's famed tomb, that's there. So those things are readily accessible in Montco, and we just want people to be aware of that.
Jessica, give me an idea of how all this information makes it into the pipeline then, because let's say you are a history enthusiast and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to take a trip to Valley Forge, and oh, and by the way, I would like to maybe experience a restaurant in the Valley Forge area like the founding fathers experienced when they were out in Valley Forge. I mean, who in the Convention and Visitors Board in the office is funneling all this information into the website so a person can easily decide, yeah, this is where we want to go and this would be a good place to eat? How does that all happen?
So the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board has a really awesome staff, and I would say all of us are accessible. Regardless of whether it's our bailiwick, so to speak, or not, we definitely pride ourselves on being, you know, very forward-facing and very accessible to our community. And when people tell us what's going on, like I said, our membership base keeps us informed, but we've also got a great relationship with our elected officials. The Montgomery County Board of Commissioners is very supportive of our organization. And we try to get out to all 62 municipalities and let people know, hey, we're here, we're your destination marketing organization. This is what we're working on. What do you have going on that we don't know about?
Sure.
Because truly, there's always so much going on. We're really fortunate that we have a lot to promote, but we're only able to do that with great relationships and a staff that's really accessible and willing to go out and form those partnerships and those relationships and be informed of what's going on, because we know people and we want to get to know more people and have more information available and accessible to our residents, visitors to our region, and certainly our website is a resource for that.
What about, I guess, the input of visitors to Montgomery County? Is there, if someone is, whether they call the office or go onto the, the website, they may have an idea for something that currently doesn't exist, and they're like, we're traveling with kids in June after school's over. We would really like to do this. Can you recommend a place for us to go? Or because sometimes people will go to a website and get so overwhelmed because there's so much information. Might the Convention and Visitors Board be there to help people who are looking for that right opportunity for them and their family?
Sure, we certainly have contact info on our website, so you can speak with a real person if you're interested. We do pride ourselves on kind of dividing the website out into these sub-brands that I speak of, so that people can find what niche they're interested in, and then explore the website beyond that, of course. And in terms of family-friendly attractions or group tours over the summer, we have staff who help plan out and map out these tours that people are taking across the county. We know what the family-friendly attractions are. If you want to come get married in Montco, we've got someone on our staff who's basically a concierge who can connect you with our 75 hotels, let you know how to book your room blocks, connect you with vendors and services. And I'm happy because a lot of those unique venues have a tie to the arts, and it's a really cool place to get married. And we have a staff that's accessible to help you through that process and make those connections for you as well.
When you started on this venture, and Montgomery County is so unique unto itself, was there a survey or was there some type of test that was done to see what was the number one thing that stood out in people's minds, consumers' minds, when it came to Montgomery County? I mean, was it the history that bubbled up to the top, or was it the shopping that came up at the top and then the history? And how did you compensate for what that study may have shown?
Sure. Well, there's multiple answers to that question.
Sure.
I think that's definitely why we took the brand approach, the sub-brands under our Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board umbrella. Any of the reasons someone would want to come and visit Montgomery County, we've created a sub-brand around it.
Okay.
So golf. We've got over 50 golf courses in Montgomery County, and that's probably 300,000 yards of play.
Yeah,
there's not a municipality in Montco that a golf course doesn't touch, so it's really big business for us. And we've got a brand around it where we are promoting our private and public courses across the county. History is certainly a big one for us, so Patriot Trails is our history brand, and that maps out for people all of the Revolutionary War history sites, not just Valley Forge National Historical Park, which is one of the biggest tourist sites, not only in Montgomery County, but in the entire Philadelphia region. But there are so many other sites like Peter Wentz Farmstead, Pottsgrove Manor, that have these historic ties, and they have great staff members, and they're free to visit. The programming is often very cheap if you want to do a program at the site. If you want to just visit, you can go in throughout the week and someone will happily tour you around. In terms of shopping, yes, that's a huge one for us. King of Prussia Mall, as I mentioned, is just a huge draw across the entire greater Philadelphia region, even the East Coast, and as I said, it's the largest retail mall by space in the US. We've got a whole Shop Montco brand around that. Weddings, Sports is really big business. Youth sports, people are traveling and often bringing their whole family for their kids' tournaments. And then we've also got really big tournaments like the Pottstown Rumble. It's a huge volleyball tournament, and Misty May Trainer came and played in it. So big name athletes are coming, and we're trying to attract people to bring their sports tournaments and their sports business here. So we've really looked across the board of reasons people come to the region and then created kind of these micro brands around them, and Arts Montco being the latest of those brands.
Well, as I said at the outset of the program, we were going to dive headfirst into this topic, and we're out of time, and unfortunately we've just scratched the surface of what is being offered in Montgomery County. It is fascinating, and I could say perhaps one of the best kept secrets in the suburbs, but hopefully this show sort of pulls back the curtain a little bit and gets people to think about taking that day trip, or perhaps booking a weekend stay at a venue, at a hotel in Montgomery County. So again, the website for people to go if they want more information?
artsmontco.com.
And I want to thank you so much for being with us here on the program.
Thanks so much for having me.
And continued success. Lots of luck with this venture.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much for listening and watching this edition of the Philly Factor. My name is Paul Perrello. Until the next time, have a great day.